Hey, it's Phil Bruce here, and in today's video, what I want to talk about is what a typical week is like during the season in women's football from a management, from a coaching point of view. So, I have been in the women's game for a number of years, and now I've managed at Tier 7, Tier 6, Tier 5, and the reserve equivalent to Tier 2, so the second top tier in the women's game in the UK. So I've managed at all different levels. At the moment, I'm Tier 7, say with a big project in mind at Sandbach United Women. So our games are typically on a Sunday, so the 2 o'clock kickoff. With Sandbach, we are in the Cheshire Women's League, so you're looking around the Cheshire area for matches. And we tend to plan from, or I tend to start planning from the Monday morning. So what we typically do at the moment during a season, and I've done this with the other teams that I've managed as well, is Monday morning I tend to get out the polls and the messages to the girls, looking to find out the numbers, the availability for training, and also for the match that's coming up on the Sunday. Training sessions tend to vary between once and twice a week. So at the moment at Sandbach, you've got a training session during the season on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. We are hoping to change that to a Wednesday and a Thursday going forward. But other times we have done, as I say, 2 sessions a week at other clubs, which have typically been Tuesday, Thursday. Or we've just done the 1 session a week. Most times it is on the Thursday night. Again, you're looking around the availability. When I've been with various other women's teams, the availability of 3G grass pitches that are located away from your club, because typically the clubs don't have the facilities or haven't got both the grass and the AstroTurf or 3G facilities to do both. Luckily enough, at Sandbach, we've actually got grass pitches and 3G pitches all together. It's just trying to get the availability of when we can have space, because there are literally hundreds of teams at the football club, so it's finding the space and availability for us to train. Hence why at the moment it's a Tuesday and a Wednesday, but we try to mix. I want to get that Wednesday, Thursday, so I can attend both of those as the manager. That is the plan. So yeah, as I say, on the Monday, I tend to get the polls out there to get the availability, just so I can know nice and early what I'm working with, what training sessions I can structure, what details I can put into the session, along with my staff. And then the reason why we put the Sunday is, again, nice and early, so I can plan or start to try and plan teams, squads, trying to look if I'm short in certain positions or if I've got a lot in a certain position. So it could be how I adapt my formation. So again, for example, if I've got lots of good wide players, I could probably look to play a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3. If I've got a lot of stronger or, more stronger central players, I'm probably trying to look at going with a 3-5-2 or basically 3 at the back and then trying to absolutely manipulate the numbers in the middle. So there are those choices, and that kind of gets geared a lot from the replies and the polls and the messages into seeing who's available. And typically what people can do, and it can be frustrating, is they leave answering it till quite late on. So it does make that difficult to try and get everything planned really early. But by putting the message out on the Monday in regards to the training session and the game that's coming up, you're giving yourself as much chance, as much opportunity to get the information as early as possible. So that's what I tend to do on the Monday. If I'm training on, as I say, the main training session for me at the moment is the Wednesday. The Tuesday, we have a member of staff from the football club taking that. It's more fitness-related stuff, but the main one's the Wednesday at the moment that I'm there for. So what I would tend to do, if I've got a good number of staff, which I'm trying to build up at the moment, is coming to the Tuesday or maybe early Wednesday, but I try to do it on the Tuesday. Once we kind of get an idea as to who's at training, I'll then get in touch with the staff to talk about what structure we want to do. So what ideas they think that they want to deliver on the sessions, what ideas I think, and how we can collaborate and put that together. So it could be my goalkeeping coach, Suzy, that takes a goalkeeper for a good 40 minutes of the hour chunk. So we'll look at which goalkeeper or goalkeepers we've got available. and she can put a session planned on what she thinks that the keeper or keepers need to work on, or what we could strengthen basically in preparation for Sunday's match. Or if there's something from the previous Sunday's match that we can work on, we'll put that into work. So that'll be the goalkeeping, and then they'll link the keepers with the outfield players towards the end of the second half of the session. I've got another coach named Bev, so what we tend to do, again, with Bev, she'll deliver the first half of the session. Again, looking at more skills, technique, building on things that we need to do or things that we can improve at, or sometimes even building on the strong points. So if we've done something well and we can see the girls need a bit of confidence, a bit of lifting from that, we can put that session on. And to be honest, I tend to give Bev that ownership on what she does, because she's experienced, she's really good at what she does, and she knows how I work, I know how she works. So you've got that, so I tend to let her do that. And then I will take the other half of the session where we kind of work it into a phase of play. So basically, it might be what Bev's done, but I'm putting it into a game-related situation, trying to coach it in more of a real-life scenario. Or I might go off something totally different and do a different element, like a shooting element, if I think that's what we need to work on. But again, more with the theory side of coming into that. So getting like body angles, body shape, movements, patterns, runs, teamwork, all that kind of thing. Or I could just put it into a game and put stipulations on it. So I'm looking to see what stipulations, what things we can put on within a game. So that's how we tend to deliver the main training session. And if it's into pre-season and we've got a bit more time, then we might focus on a bit more of the fitness element with the ball. Or if I think we do need to get a bit fitter, we might add that in. But I tend to trust players when I can to do their stuff in their own time. But I do like us being sharp. So we try to work that bit in, but we try to get it on the ball as much as possible. So that's how Wednesdays tend to be structured. Then once Wednesdays are done, again, I'll speak to the girls during the session on the Wednesday just to have a chat, see how they are, see how they're feeling, and go all that side of things, build up the connection and relationship with that. Then it comes to Thursday, so I'll typically put a message on with the detail of what we've worked on, so it's there in writing, the key takeaways from it, kind of left, as I say, a lot of the time saying well done to him and pointing out the good things, as well as the things that we can keep working on. So they've got it in writing. And also for the ones that haven't been able to make the training session, they can see what we've worked on. They can have a read, a study and an understanding of what we've worked on. So that'll tend to be Thursday. And while Thursday's coming on, I'll still be having a chat with members of staff probably just to see how they felt the sessions went, what we can keep on working on and improving on, and all that kind of thing as well. Then it comes to Friday. So what I'll do on the Fridays, I'll put a message to the girls, to the staff as well, with what I am aware that the current numbers are for the squad and the current names are for the selection for Sunday. So I'll write that down. And then I'll tend to say to them, like, if there's anyone else that's available, please let me know by the Saturday so I can get the squad selected and let everybody know. Or if someone's picked up a knock from training on the Wednesday, for example, or when they're doing stuff in their own time, I can ask them how they're feeling and if they feel fit enough to be put into the squad or to be able to start and all that kind of thing. So I tend to give them the day on Friday and the first half of the day and the early afternoon on the Saturday to let me know how they're feeling and to let me know final numbers. Then comes the Saturday evening. I will then tend to put the squad in there. Again, if you've got a squad, or say you can pick a squad of 16 basically, but if I've got 17, 18, 19 players to choose from, what I will tend to do is message the girls who I hate saying leaving out that week, but aren't involved that week for whatever reason, and I'll tend to message them to explain it, or it might be a phone call just so they're understanding the perspective of what I've got. Or if somebody has got a slight niggle, slight injury, and we're on the side of precaution, we'll sometimes rest them and put someone else in because it makes sense to not let them get injured anymore. So then I'll put my squad in, put the details for the game, so the address, the location, all that thing. And then it'll be just some notes like what I'm looking for or what we can work on in that particular game. It could also be about any strengths or weaknesses of the opposition that I know of, or other players have told me about, other staff or people have told me about. And it could be about how we're going to shape up and what we're looking for. Not loads and loads and loads of information that he's bombarding, but I tried to get some bullet points in there. Again, it's just so the girls can have a read of it, can have a look at it, and the staff can as well, just so they're starting to get it in their mind for the game on the Sunday. So that's what I tend to do Saturday night. Sunday is then about waiting for any messages to come in the morning about last minute needing lifts, or if anyone can't make it last minute, which can be frustrating at this level of standard. But on the whole, the girls are good as gold and they get that sorted out before, and we don't tend to have a lot of dropouts, which on the day, which makes a massive difference. We'll then make the journey to the game. If it's a 2 o'clock kickoff, which most of the time is, I tend to tell them to get there for 12:30. Again, away games, if it's a travel, I'll probably say 1 o'clock, just to give them a bit more time. But at home, it's about 12:30, 1:45. What I tend to do as a manager, with being a male and a female's game, I tend to stay out the changing rooms as much as I can. I get the stuff set up. I walk around. I speak to opposition. I speak to our players outside, our staff outside, supporters, whatever it is. Speak outside whilst I'm getting things set up for the warm-up and the patterns for the game. The girls then go in the changing rooms. Bev will probably go in the changing rooms with him and Susie. Again, it's just for them to have some time together, to gel, to put some music on, to chill, to relax, to also get themselves up for the game and chat and whatever they want to do. 1:15, they come out, they start the warm-up. Again, I will do the dynamics, so I'll do the stretching, the bit of work to get them going. Bev then takes over for the ball work, the possession work. And then if we've got the numbers, so a full squad, I will tend to take the defenders. Bev could take the attackers or swap it over, vice versa. The goalkeeper will warm up with Susie, or if Susie's not there for a particular reason, for whatever reason, an outfield player could do it, or the other goalkeeper could do the warm up for the goalkeeper that's playing. And then, yeah, it's literally a case of either go in the changing room for a quick chat, or we stay outside, do the chat for the game there. And I will tend to do some of the pre-game chat during the stretching, the dynamic part of the warm-up as well. So whilst I've got them out there to keep it fresh in their mind. We then play the game. I say we do all the stuff like that. Play the game, half-time, team talks, whatever it is. Full-time, we have a debrief. And then again, it's a case of the girls will go in, get changed. I'll stay outside. I'll get the stuff put into the car. I'll then, when everyone's left, get all the stuff that's remaining there. We'll have a quick chat with the staff to see what their initial thoughts and feelings are about the game. Then it'll be a drive home. And then on the Sunday night, I'll put a quick message in about the game. Nothing too detailed. Again, nothing too much to digest. But I'll tend to put that in there. And again, the process then starts accordingly. If we've not got a game on the Sunday, a free week, I tend to give them the free Sunday rather than putting a training session on the Sunday, because from experience, the girls, the staff, everyone, they really value and respect having a Sunday off to be able to do what they want and to be able to see family, friends, socialise, whatever it is. So that's why I tend to focus on getting the training in the week. So that's a typical kind of structure throughout the week of women's football at grassroots, and going up from tier 7 right through to tier 3 and tier 2 of reserve football as well. That's been my experience within that. You know, we'll tend to also watch stuff during the week, like any VO footage we get, any GoPro footage we get. But because it's hard to get a lot of detail on the opposition, with being at that standard and with having them kind of having different players available, us having different players available week on week and not having the access to all the footage for them, it's more about focusing on the elements that we can control, becoming the best that we can be, and focusing on improving the girls our end rather than concentrating too much on the opposition. So that's what tends to happen during the week from that within the women's game. Again, I'll put future posts on probably talking more about the social media side and the communication side with players and how that differs from the men's game and all that stuff in other videos. But I just hope you would find that useful to see how it's kind of run on a week-to-week basis during the season in the women's game at this level. So yeah, hope you found that useful. As I say, if you want to like, subscribe, comment, and all that jazz, it is really appreciated as always. I do love hearing from you, and I do love trying to help as much as possible and help in any way I can. So hope that you're all doing well and having a great week so far. And as always, sending my love, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. So until then, take care, keep smiling, and bye for now.